Hey, what's up you guys? You're watching Team APS, Paul here, and in today's video, I'm going to share the top 5 monsters of 2017, in my opinion at least. Now, a bit of a disclaimer, these are monsters that aren't hand traps and they aren't extra deck monsters. I'm saving those for future videos. And the criteria here is it has to be monsters that made a really big impact this year. You know, the centerpiece of a deck or just a really powerful monster that was annoying to deal with. So yeah, let's get started. Card number 5 is Soul Eating Oviraptor. This card came out in the Dino Smashers Fury structure deck this year, and it is extremely powerful. I've actually gone on record in saying how much I don't like this card, but that's not important. That's why it's on the list. This card searches dinosaurs, sends dinosaurs from the deck to the graveyard, and it can even destroy the dinosaurs in the field, aka the small baby ones, and then summon more dinosaurs from the grave. And the baby ones summon them from the deck. This was literally the linchpin of the Dino deck, and the best part about the Dino deck is that it was extremely budget. I mean, buying 3 copies of the structure deck basically gave you a pretty competitive thing you could use to win at locals, win at regionals. So I definitely feel like, although it's really overpowered, Oviraptor is deserving of a spot on this list. So it gets number 5. Card number 4 is Spiral Super Agent. So funny enough, this card didn't actually release in 2017, but we all know why it's on this list. The Spiral deck has taken the game by storm with the release of Double Helix, and Spiral Super Agent's kind of at the center of all of that. So everything revolves around him being on the field, or it takes his name like Double Helix and Tough. And so yeah, this guy had a huge price spike as soon as Double Helix got announced. For good reason, the deck is strong, nobody really likes facing it. His effect by itself isn't actually terribly powerful. He just summons himself. You know, it can pop a spell or trap. But there's so many ways, like with Tough and with Drone, to set that up, and then he turns into your Spiral deck's Link Monster plays, and it all gets really crazy from there. So I think it deserved a spot on this list, but only at number 4. Card number 3, Alistair the Invoker. So this came out really early in the year in Fusion Enforcers, and the way that Alistair works is basically he searches Invocation, which is, you know, your fusion spell, and he's searchable through Magical Meltdown. And just between Alistair and Invocation, they can kind of just cycle themselves infinitely, you know, back into the deck and back into your hand. Since Alistair's release, it's basically kind of become a relevant meta staple in a lot of different decks. You see so many different hybrids, you know, invoked this, invoked that. The most prominent ones being like invoked Wind Witch, invoked True Draco. I've seen it mixed with some more rogue options like invoked Altergeist, for example. And even though it's never been at the top of the meta, it's always been a threat. It's always been a deck you have to worry about. And it was actually pretty cheap itself, though the same can't be said of the other cards. But yeah, Alistair gets number 3. Card number 2 is Masterpiece. So for good reason, this was the target of a lot of criticism this year. You can probably guess why. In the vein of cards like Qliphort Towers and other unbeatable boss monsters, it's really easy to summon, it's the boss monster of the True Draco deck, and it's unaffected by spells, traps, or monster effects, depending on what you tributed it for. And generally speaking, this card got tributed with like a monster and a trap, usually during the opponent's turn, and now you can't Mirror Force it, you can't Torrential it, you can't do really anything to stop it, you can't Ghost Ogre and all these things. So this card was really, really difficult to get around. High attack strength. It was able to disrupt you like by popping things in your turn, like, you know, Zodiac Trident. And all in all, I mean, I think that this card was, I played the deck, so I know that it was very easy to summon. I know how annoying it could be. As much as I liked it, it was extremely annoying to face, like in mirror matches and stuff. So I feel like it was definitely one of the more influential cards this year and deserves number 2 on the list. Card number 1, Zodiac Ratbeer. So even though this card's technically left us in the associated deck and all that nonsense, Zodiacs, it definitely was the most influential card of the year. In my opinion, I think that, you know, outside of being the centerpiece of the Zodiac deck, Zodiac Ratbeer found its way in kind of everything. I mean, we know how infectious Zodiacs were for the game. It wasn't just the deck itself that was winning. It was in every single other deck. You saw, you know, Magicians using Ratbeer, True Draco using Ratbeer. There were variants of like Invoke decks and, you know, Dinosaur decks and stuff that all used Zodiacs. So Ratbeer was simple. It was a setup card. You summoned it, you could send either another Ratbeer to the grave or combo or really anything you wanted, and it just got recycled and stuff. Even when it got hit to 2, it was still a really powerful card, but God, when it was a 3, it was even worse. I think that there's really not much more you can say about the card other than it kind of defined this year as a whole, at least, you know, up until the deck finally got banned. So in my opinion, Ratbeer, most influential monster in the game in 2017. So what do you guys think? Which of these 5 monsters was, in your opinion, the most powerful, the most influential, impactful monster of 2017? Let me know down in the comments below. Remember to follow me on social media and subscribe for more Yu-Gi-Oh videos. I'll see you guys in the next one.